A very pleasant good morning to you all, dear students. I hope all of you are doing great in these difficult situations. During this pandemic situation, it is always better to stay home and stay safe. So far we have discussed about the various types of life processes and how they take place in humans in detail, right? And even we have discussed how organisms are able to reproduce. And in the previous chapter, we have learnt in detail about how the organisms are able to get their traits from their parents in detail, right? So now in this chapter, today we are going to start a new chapter where we are going to learn about how organisms are able to show response to the environment where they are living or to the surroundings where they are living. So as a part of that, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is our environment. I repeat, our new chapter today we are going to discuss is about our environment. So before going to enter into our exact topic, let us see what is the definition of the word environment. I think in your previous classes or in your social studies classes, you may have come across with the word environment. So once again, we just recall what is the word meaning environment. So the word meaning environment or the meaning of the word environment is called surroundings. I repeat, the word environment means what? Surroundings. So the surroundings where organisms live is called as environment or environment. I repeat, the surroundings where organisms live is called as environment or environment. That is the definition of the word environment, right? So when we look at our surroundings or when we look at our environment, what do you observe? Tell me. So the various types of living and non-living components you are able to see in your surroundings, right? Not only humans, not only animals, not only plants. There are number of microorganisms are taking part, are surviving in the environment. So not only all these living things, along with these living things, some non-living components which are helpful to the living things to lead their life are also taking part in the environment, right? So all these living and non-living components are continuously interacting with each other to make their life possible. Are you getting my point? So living things and non-living things continuously and interact with each other. They interdependent on one another. So what type of interaction is taking place or what type of interdependence is taking place in between them in detail we are going to talk or we are going to learn in this chapter that is called our environment. I think all of you have got an idea about what I am going to talk or discuss in this chapter, right? So let us move to the next important part of this chapter, that is called ecosystem. So ecosystem or ecosystem is a part of the environment or the environment in which we are living. So what is the word meaning ecosystem? I was keep on talking about there is an interaction taking place in between living and non-living components of a particular area, right? So how can we define it? So what is ecosystem? So let me first give you the definition of the word ecosystem. All the interacting organisms like plants, animals, microorganisms with their physical environment, constitutes or forms ecosystem or ecosystem. I repeat, all the interacting organisms like plants, animals, microorganisms with their physical environment constitutes or forms an ecosystem. So what does it mean, physical environment? I have mentioned a word here, physical environment. What does it mean? So here I have talked about all the interacting organisms. Interacting organisms in the sense plants, animals, microorganisms, they are continuously interacting with each other. In which way? Let me give the clarification here. Plants depend on animals for carbon dioxide, right? As we all know that in the previous chapters we have learned that plants make their own food by a process called photosynthesis in which they need carbon dioxide, right? So that carbon dioxide, as a part of excretion, as a part of respiration, animals give out that carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide which has been given out by the animals in a process called respiration is taken by plants. That means plants depend on animals for carbon dioxide to make their own food. Now, animals depend upon plants. As we all know that even humans are also socially developed animals. All the different types or categories of animals which are living on the surface of the earth depend on plants for their food, right? So, animals depend on plants for food. Whereas, plants and animals which are living after leading certain life, because of many reasons they have to die, right? So, after their dead bodies are being decomposed and mixed in the soil with the help of microorganisms. So, microorganisms are depending on plants and animal dead bodies for their food. Whereas, when they decompose the dead bodies of plants and animals, the valuable nutrients present in them are being mixed in the soil by the microorganisms, and those are again taken up by the plants. So like this, plants, animals, microorganisms which are living in an area are continuously interacting with each other, are interdepending on one another. Are you getting my point? So not only the interaction or interdependence taking place in between them, even all these living components are depending upon their physical environment. I have added a word here, physical environment. What does it mean? Physical environment in the sense soil, air, water and temperature and minerals. So all these together forms physical environment. So in the absence of soil, or in the absence of air, or in the absence of water, or in the absence of temperature, or in the absence of minerals, we cannot imagine life on the surface of earth, right? In fact, life only possible on the surface of the earth because it has ambient temperature, because it has sufficient amount of water. So all these physical environment components like soil, air, water and temperature are also a part of ecosystem. So all these living components like plants, animals and microorganisms are depending upon non-living components which we all of them together called as physical environment. So all these together forms ecosystem in an area. I think all of you are clear now what is the word meaning ecosystem. Once again, check the definition for the word ecosystem. All the interacting organisms like plants, animals, microorganisms with their physical environment constitutes or forms an ecosystem. Here the physical environment means soil, air, water, temperature and minerals. So all of them, though they are non-living, they are very much important for the living thing to lead its life. Is that clear? So let us see now what are the different types of ecosystem that we can see on the surface of earth. Ecosystems can be broadly categorized into two types. That is number one, natural ecosystems, and the second one, artificial or man-made ecosystems. Are you getting my point? So ecosystems in an area can be broadly categorized into two types. That is the first one, natural, and the second one is artificial. Let us see first what is natural ecosystems. The name itself, it is telling that they are natural. They are naturally formed. They are provided by the nature. Are you getting my point? So look at here. Natural ecosystems examples, if you see, what are they? Tell me. Mountains, ponds, seas, oceans, forests, etc. So all these are the examples of natural ecosystems. May I call forest as an ecosystem? Yes, I have to call it as an ecosystem because forest is an area where we can see different types of living things, at the same time their physical environment. In a forest you can see number of plants, a number of animals, soil, air, water, minerals, everything we can see in a forest. So forest is a best example to describe natural ecosystem. In the same way, mountains, grasslands, ponds, in all these places you can find a variety of living things which are interdepending upon their non-living components. So all these are the best examples for natural ecosystems. Come to the next group, that is artificial ecosystem. Artificial or man-made, it is made by the man or humans, that's why they are called as artificial ecosystems or man-made ecosystems. Best example to describe artificial ecosystem is garden or a park, or best example to describe artificial ecosystem is an aquarium. Am I right? So all these are the examples to describe artificial ecosystems. I can call garden as a ecosystem, right? In a garden you can see number of plants, herbs, shrubs, trees, plants, many different types of plants, animals, soil, water, minerals, many things you can see in a garden. So garden is made by the man. That's why it's a artificial ecosystem. In the same way, park. In a park also you can see number of living and non-living components and their interaction, which is made by man. So an aquarium. In an aquarium also you can find fish, small aquatic plants, stones, water, oxygen, many things you can find in an aquarium. So an aquarium is also a best example to describe what? Artificial or man-made ecosystems. Another important example is an agricultural field. An agricultural field also is the best example to describe artificial ecosystems, where we can see an interaction between living and non-living components. So like this, ecosystem is a part of our environment where we can find a continuous interaction or interdependence in between living and non-living components.